Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourselves in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Dragons in Dublin. This evening's scene is set in Carpe Infernum, also known as the Goth Club in the centre of Temple Bar, the alternate district at Dublin's city centre's heart. Well, I'd say it's beating heart, but then again, there's a lot of things here that don't beat. So, you have all received an invitation, a handwritten invitation, in a very swanky leather envelope, inviting you to a soiree to be held this evening by one of the great alumni of the city's underworld community in the form of Mr. Gravedigger. The party itself says it's due to start at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the evening. However, everyone knows that, well, you don't get to a fancy party until at least, well, 9 or 10, 11, 12, whenever, really. So, well, as you approach the outdoors of Carpe Infernum, it is literally just a corrugated iron grid of a gateway that is open up to the midnight air and a hole the size of a door set into a brick wall of a much larger building. There is a sign above it reading Carpe Infernum written in spidery black script. Outside of the door proper, you will see a large man with pale white skin. He has his head shaved and is approximately 6'5" and must weigh 350 pounds of solid muscle. He's checking the invitations as you approach. For anyone who has the ability to do so, anyone with life sight, anyone who can tell, this man is a stone cold corpse, and yet, well, he seems to be locomoting just fine. We will get to you as you enter, at which point I will intro you all, and then I will describe the ballroom. So, from my right to left, we have Kevin is up first.
Kevin is dressed in his normal attire, aside from I'm not 100% sure if there are masks in the casino's gift shop. Would have been his first stop. But whatever it is, it's cheap, yet overpriced. He doesn't look very comfortable in it, especially, let's call it a kitsune mask, the little muzzle sticking out, just trying to see desperately through the two holes in the front. His face caught in all of the internal humidity since it's not really like letting his breath out that well. There's one point where you're pretty sure he was going to hit a wall, but he just missed it. And at this point, he's not really in the middle of the room. He standing off to the side.
Okay, cool. Next on my to intro list, we have the not Colonel Sanders.
Eric's just going to show up, hand his invitation over to the guard. He does not have life sight up. Does the guy obviously look dead, or just only if you've got life sight?
Not obviously, but he's very pale.
And I do know Gravedigger's running this one. No assumptions. He'll just hand the invitation, and if he's allowed in, he'll head in.
All right. Next on my to intro list, we have the darling, the effervescent, no doubt, Miss or Lady Celestis, as I keep forgetting titles. Titles are a thing.
Yes. She is. Well, she's actually kind of excited about this, and I need to change her name thing, but that can wait. The invitation to a place called Club Inferno. She didn't really have an idea who sent it, but it sounds like adventure, and she is quite bubbly and effervescent, heading down to the club. And just not quite skipping, but she's definitely got that extra bounce in her step.
Cool. Next, we have Crib / Austin.
Crib will be in a decent suit. He will have paid. Is number 1 still awake?
Oh God. No.
Okay. Then he will
No.
he will have paid some of the Wumble tailors for a suit. His mask that he wears is that of the of Hearn the Horned God, and it is beautifully blended stone and hardwood, kind of mixed together. And he will hand over his invitation to the gate guard. And as Celestis, is she wearing what is her kith?
She's a she, dear.
Yes, she is a she.
Is she wearing
Yep.
house colors?
Yes, they're Hasiona colors.
Okay. And is she wearing rank signets?
Night
Okay.
sash.
Okay. He does have his you will see the Yield do have a chimerical night sash and his Feymail on. And there is a chimerical trash can lid strapped to his back. But he will hand the invitation over to the doorman and make his way in.
All right. Next is Chris Tanner. You are next.
Well, Tanner would be wearing a fox mask in addition to wearing one of the like Walmart button-up shirts and a nice pair of, well, nice being the operative word, you know, one of the relatively nice like black slacks that you get from Walmart. His definition of dressing up. Good enough for an interview. Or masquerade. When he comes in, he will show his invitation to the bouncer. Which, as far as anyone that's looking at him, he actually does still look alive. He looks to be breathing. He doesn't look like a dead person. Unless, of course, you have life sight.
Next is oh, sorry, continue, Chris.
Yeah, but after he gets inside, he'd probably move towards one of the sides and be looking around.
Next we have apologies, 1 second, I'll get on my list. Next we have Dr. L.
All right. This is obviously a woman. The dress is very well made, tailored to her body, and very expensive looking. It's black with red trim. And yes, the Shodan face is an actual metallic face mask. The black and green bits are actually covering her hair as a shimmering shimmering cloth shroud over the hair. So this is a very well done looking mask. It actually looks really realistic to what it is supposed to be representing. The eyes move and the face and the jaw part is actually a separate piece that's held on differently. so that the jaw can move and the lips can move. They don't act. The lips don't actually deform. They just kind of up and down like a nutcracker. She hands her invitation to the doorman and just keeps walking. Oh, for fuck's sake! How much of that did you get?
It all went
All of it.
through. We got all of it.
Yeah,
Now I'm talking Evan.
I got all of it.
Okay, sweet. I'm done then.
Awesome. My apologies for that. It literally just restarted as Ben stopped speaking. So in that case, we are now last, but certainly not least, up to Christian.
So Christian is dressed in a nice green dress with a slit down the side. It's clearly, instead of where did you get that, it's who are you wearing question. Otherwise, she looks strikingly similar to Ruth Wilson. But her mask looks demonic, like a demonic skull, and the jaw is separated, so whenever she talks, the mask moves with her jawline. But for anybody that's looking, you guys can't tell how she has that mask on. It just looks like half a mask.
All right. Now that you've all introed, the room that you enter is vast. You didn't think that there would be this much space underground. As a matter of fact, does anyone currently have correspondence set up?
Me.
Yeah. You hit the portal about as soon as you go down about 5 steps.
Okay.
For everyone else, you may make an perception awareness roll in order to judge that there is supernatural kerfuckery going on.
Does insightful apply?
Yes.
What's the roll?
It's perception awareness, and it would be difficulty 6.
Well, I got one success because 222-338. Jesus Christ.
That was some sorry rolling, Jim.
Faye can use kenning.
They can use kenning.
Okay.
2 successes.
2 successes.
1 success.
In the pantry. Okay, cool.
Trying to do this on my phone is hard. Three successes.
Okay. And has everyone rolled? Anyone not rolled?
I think we've all rolled.
Okay, cool. With that, as you step down the stairs, there's a chill or tingle that runs down your spine and into your fingertips. You feel as if something hinky has happened. You feel the breath on the back of a breath of air on the back of your neck, and it causes all your hairs to stand up on end. There's some voodoo that they do so well down in this place. Oh my. But to explain, you descend into this vast space, a huge circular room that appears to have been made from carved black marble. It is utterly stunning. Even the tables and chairs are made from the same heavy substance. Overhead, there are candles that glow. However, ensconced as they are, they do not burn with the normal flame color of candles. No, some burn purple, others burn green, casting an interesting spectrum of light down on the dance floor where many people dance. The grand waltz has already begun. The music has started to play. You hear it from the orchestra where they stand high in a balcony above you. Their notes ringing down into the crowd below, who seem to be enjoying themselves. Does anyone have life sight?
AFK for a minute.
Okay.
I think the only mages here who would be able to do that would be Ben, myself, and if Bob's playing one, Bob's character.
I do not have life sight. I have astral sight up.
Astral sight is the equivalent of spirit sight, isn't it?
Yep.
Cool. Bob?
Nope. Just my mind shield.
Do you have life sight? No? Okay.
I don't have it up right now.
All right. Everything down here looks entirely normal. Oh, except for the astral sight. You see dozens of spectry, shadowy figures standing around the room who aren't moving.
What about prime sight?
Oh, Nelly. The walls are made of prime. The ceiling's made of prime. The floor is made of prime.
The people have lots of prime in them.
People have a lot of prime in them. You see vague prime traces where there's nothing else there. Oh, Nelly.
So much energy.
Solon, the amount of energy that the amount of people who the amount of energy used in the construction of this place was mind-boggling.
I'm jealous.
You know, it's a good idea being able to rip quintessence from spirits.
Yep.
Anyway, and there is a long table that has been set up with food, delicious food, and many goblets containing wine and other sweet elixirs from the mysterious world all around you. It is literally an assault upon all the senses. It assaults your nostrils with smells. It assaults your ears with sound. It assaults your sight with the passion of lights. It is almost sensory overload, and yet it is so thoroughly itself. What do you gentlemen and ladies do?
Well, Tanner would be looking at the food buffet banquet thing. Especially checking to see if there's anything like a sweet dish or anything. You know, whether it's like candy or ice cream, especially ice cream. Because the food is where the best parts is. Because someone needs to stress eat.
There is indeed. It's funny. As you contemplate what you would like, as you think about it, a door will open, and one of the masked servants, because you can tell who the servants are, they're all wearing identical outfits. They're all wearing plain white face masks with kind of a sweeping, with kind of a red doublet, who always bow and answer questions, will emerge and will place down the exact flavor of ice cream you desire on the table.
Awesome. Well, seeing the mint chocolate chip ice cream, he will definitely get himself some of that and, you know, kind of begin eating it. Mostly to stress eat.
Okay.
He's been having a stressful week, getting punched in the face every time he wakes up.
Why?
Amelia's idea of training him to fight.
Oh, yeah. So what does anyone else do?
I'm also going to go to the table and see what they have.
They have currently an amazing assortment of dishes the world over. If there's something that is not on the table that you yourself really desire, a couple of moments later it is brought from, once again, what appears to be the kitchen via one of the masked servants who will then return after placing the platter down.
Oh, well, in that case, then I brought a. It looks like God, what do you call it? The ice cream cups that you get the sundaes in. Yeah, it's full of icy red slushy of some sort.
Oh, if it's blood, they won't bring it.
Ah, damn.
Sorry.
Well, still, it's filled with icy red slushy.
Rib is going to peruse the food table.
Raven is also browsing the food table. She seems to be just like taking small pieces here and there, tasting them, seeing what's there.
You will.
Let's see. I have a good question. Does Astral Sight allow Dr. L to see the changelings in the room?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it allows them. It allows you to see their rainbow aura. Yes.
Oh, rainbow aura would probably be enough to tip her off. So she will actually stay far away from them. And anytime they move close, she's moving away.
And to answer your question, Solon, it's not a mind effect.
Cool.
It's an entropy time effect. Basically, they're bringing out exactly what's wanted at the current time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, she will be hanging out near the Chinese food area.
I assume that it means that, since she's at the table or at the buffet thing, and I'm at the buffet thing, she'd probably notice the fact that, like, pale aura with nice, lovely swirls.
Yep. You will
nice, lovely swirls.
The
nice, lovely swirls of, hi, I have an incurable derangement that is active.
Swirls. Twirling, twirling, twirling towards victory. All right, the music will stop as a figure will emerge onto the balcony where they are playing. You will see this individual. On a side note, I love this picture.
With the skeleton?
Beg your pardon?
Picture.
With the skeleton or just the person?
He will emerge from basically a coffin will rise from the floor, and he will walk out of the coffin, and you will see the skeleton is inside it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Madame de Monsieur, my Damen und mein Herren, it's so lovely to see you all. For those of you who don't know, I'm Gravedigger. So, oh my, I'm absolutely all over Twitter. I'm so pleased that you've come to enjoy my evening's festivities. Now, there are only a handful of rules. I do have to be that Nansing Nelly, but I have to tell you them. So, here we go. 1. Everyone here is under my protection. That means exactly what you think it does, kids. Violate it, and you'll have a sad day. Everyone's personages in every form are to be kept in the manner in which they desire them to be. If that means you can defile a person with their permission, do it! I don't give a fuck. What else? What else? He genuinely seems to be thinking. Oh yes, we ran out of shrimp about 20 minutes ago. Just letting you know, the caterers have been great, but they're a little bit naff on the contents of shrimp. Wonderful. Now, by all means, mingle, peruse, enjoy the festivities. He'll snap his fingers, and the musicians will resume playing. On a side note, for those of you who see Gravedigger with Astral Sight, he is most assuredly a mage, and he has all of those chains that lead from a ring on his left hand.
And for those of us who have Prime Sight, I introduce sunglasses.
He's not that bright as a punching. The ring and the chain is really bright, but that's about it.
Okay.
Dr. L actually seems to stare at Gravedigger for a long while before continuing along with what she was doing before.
At this point, it seems like Kevin's the only person who hasn't decided to go near the buffet and or punch fountain type object. He's still navigating this gigantic room. He's not trying to get out of it per se, but he is he's ambling around. He's taking a look at all the various assumedly people here. He doesn't have any sights up to tell him otherwise. It's a lot of people. It's a big space, but it's a lot of people. It's tightly packed. It's not making the humidity in that mask any better. And then
you will actually
Gravedigger.
find, Kevin, for the record, you are entirely comfortable.
Awesome.
Mhm.
In which case, Gravedigger is the most attention-grabbing thing in the room, especially as he speaks. So there's a long period of him, but when he stops, it's back to this new noble pursuit of people watching.
Christina will summon a waiter again and hand him the red glass before going out to the dance floor. And she will be spending willpower to not make a fool of herself while dancing.
Okay, wonderful. If you want to roll me your Dex performance.
Dex what?
Performance.
I know, there was a joke in there.
All right. At this point, for Kevin, this woman will approach him out of the crowd. She is stunningly beautiful, as in her eyes seem to drink him in. And she will say, I'm wondering why it is that you're out here all alone.
I came here alone, so it would probably follow that I'd then be here alone. Unless there's something I don't know. And in this moment, he looks around. I'm sorry, do I know you?
No, but I'd like to know you. My name's Lavrana.
Kevin, and he'll take the hand. It's a good firm handshake. Doesn't do that thing where people kind of like they swing down way too hard. If you've ever experienced that, where it's that firm grip, so they're not limply grabbing you, but then they and it's like they're trying to get. He doesn't do that. It's just one firm shake, no more, no less.
She'll take the hand and she'll say, do you dance, Kevin?
It's been a couple decades, but once.
Would you care to?
I just have to warn you, it's been a long time.
I assure you, my feet are made of pretty sturdy stuff.
And Kevin will awkwardly go along with this.
All right. Wunderbar.
Hey, I didn't want to interrupt you guys. I just put my results in the side chat, Evan.
Okay. You do not make a fool of yourself. You dance with a number of gentlemen and ladies, depending on your preference. Rather fun. You know, you're by no means standing out. You know, like you're not doing the Tanga de la Muerte, but you're most definitely, you know, able to participate in the dance.
Hey. Do I actually come around back? It's kind of a side question. Do I come back around to Kevin?
If you wish to.
Only if he wants to.
Before that happens, however, one moment. Yep. You will see this woman wend her way through the crowd towards the tables, at which point she will say, oh my, what a distinguished gentleman you are. She'll say, denoting Eric.
Thank you, madam.
More than welcome. My name is Angelica. I'm delighted to make your acquaintance.
Results from Prime Site and or Data Site. I mean, he's not specifically activating them. They're always on right now. So
she has a Prime signature, which is unusual, but you're not exactly sure what it means. And Data Site,
high amounts of
any real
high amounts of quintessence equivalent, or
Pyromancer quintessence equivalent.
Okay. So sorry, I missed what you said. I'm sorry.
But she asked your name. My apologies.
Eric Elder.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Elder. So, why have you come to this little soiree?
Well, it was an invitation, and I thought it would be an interesting chance to try out another mask.
We all wear masks, Mr. Elder. Some of them are just much closer to our hearts than our faces. Would you not agree?
Seems reasonable enough.
So, she'll, once again, she'll extend her hand and she'll say, "Do you dance, Mr. Elder?"
Let me actually check the sheet to know how badly that's going to fail. Luckily, wait, it's performance, right? Man, performance isn't even on the base sheet.
It's one of those weird skills. You can, in theory, use athletics at a higher def if you're the one.
Yep, he actually has athletics, so I can go with that.
It just becomes, I think, a diff 8 roll.
Okay. Let me roll that up and see what happens. He'll say, by all means, certainly. And follow her to the floor. And I'll burn... I'm low on willpower now. Okay. Burning 1, though. 3 successes, so not too bad.
Thank you, pardon?
I said 3 successes, not too bad.
No, as a matter of fact, you cut a rather impressive debonair figure on the dance floor, and she is rather a lovely partner. You two seem to meld rather easily. By the way, question, because I know Eric is a gentleman of a certain age. Is he married and does he have children? I think you did say he had children, I think.
It is in his backstory that he does, yes. However, his wife is deceased, and his children, he doesn't really interact with them much anymore.
They're like old, they're older and have their own lives, etc.
Exactly, and he did kind of fake his own downfall into senility, so they don't visit too often, and they usually give advance warning.
That's fair. She'll say, "You are the most excellent dancer, Mr. Elder," as you wend your way across the dance floor.
Thank you very much. You're quite well. You are quite skilled as well.
At this moment, she will turn, and you will notice, as I say, Mr. Grant. At which point she will walk over, and herself and the other lady who was dancing with Mr. Grant will link arms, and they'll say, "It was very interesting to meet you both. We reveled in the opportunity."
It was nice meeting you too.
Lavrana leans in and kisses Mr. Grant on the cheek, leaving her black lipstick traced on your face. Or on the mask, rather.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin lets this happen.
Do they look like they're basically excusing themselves and going elsewhere in the party?
Yes.
In that case, he will bow politely, and I think I've got enough etiquette to do that properly. Yeah. Good.
Right. So, Crib, how you doing? Doing good?
He is doing good. He is enjoying himself at this lovely little soiree.
What drink does Crib currently want?
Mead.
I beg your pardon?
Just a very basic mead.
All right. A very small, a beautifully carved stein, which appears to be made from some kind of white stone or marble, is brought out that contains the precious golden liquid, at which point the servant will bow to him and say, "Your drink, sir."
Did we lose God?
Can you not hear me?
All I heard was bow to him and say.
Oh, my apologies. Bow to him and say, "Your drink, sir."
He'll look at the servant and he will nod his head and take of the lovely golden liquid. Mead. Tasty, tasty goodness.
It is at this moment, boys and girls, that the music will once again stop and go quiet.
Alrighty.
One moment, please. Sorry, I just have to answer something. The lights will... I'm not going to say dim, because they're already quite dim. They will flicker for a moment. And you will become aware very quickly that there is a new figure standing very, very still at the entranceway. One moment, I will put this picture. There we go.
Hey guys.
Hello. There we go. At which point he will very calmly walk down the stairs. He's flanked on both sides by a number of people who are dressed as harlequins. Very obvious Venetian harlequins. At which point, when he reaches the bottom of the stairs, he will very casually extend a hand and take the hand of one of the harlequins in his. They're both obviously female. You can tell by the way the bodies are proportioned. No, you do not have cell phone signal here. And he will say, in a voice that rings out over the crowd, "Oh, how interesting. I'm so pleased to have been able to accept your invitation. My, so many interesting faces." He will then walk into the dance floor, and he will motion the band to look hesitant for a moment, but they will start to play once again, at which point he will start to waltz, rather simply, slowly, eloquently, in fact. And the party will continue again. But this figure stopped it, and you don't know why, and it's somewhat interesting, the fact that it stopped. I tell you what, I need to go to the bathroom, so if you guys want to get Rick up to speed on what's happening and what's happened so far, you can do that, and I'll be back in like 2 or 3 minutes.
Hey, Evan, if
Hey guys, what's going on?
if you have a cell phone, I've been trying to message you on Facebook.
Oh, I
Oh,
tend to
snap.
not look at my Facebook when I'm on Zoom, but okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't have my phone with me.
So to catch Rick up, the entrance to the club is in kind of the alt district. You go over an iron bridge, hand the invitation to the door guard. He lets you in. You walk down some stairs, and you're in a room that's bigger than it probably should be.
All right.
Lovely food table, pretty much anything you want, except for shrimp, because they seem to be running low on those right now. If it is not on the table, it is brought out relatively shortly after you decide that is what you want.
Nice.
They don't serve blood.
That's fine. I guess a kind of kind of a nerdy-looking guy will approach the food table. He's got a Coke bottle glasses. Looks like he's probably in his late 40s. His head is balding. He's kind of got a cul-de-sac head with brown hair. He just kind of walks up to the food table and upon realizing that he really wants some deviled eggs, they just kind of are there for him. So he sits there and he snacks on some deviled eggs.
It's less that they're suddenly there; they get brought out shortly thereafter by waitstaff.
Oh, I understand.
Okay. There's a man standing at the table. He has in hand a fairly large white, either stone or ivory stein, wearing a very ornate Hearn the Hunter mask.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna fire up Discord here. Just give me a moment.
Discord spooling up. Discord will be ready to fire in 30 seconds.
Pretty much.
I guess, well, shoot. He's gonna, he'll kind of flip down some goggles from the top of his head. Please turn that down, Faith.
Yeah, I was.
He'll flip down some goggles over his head. You'll notice that there are different layers to the goggles that can be flipped up and down. And he's gonna trigger his mind sight, so maybe you can get a glimpse at what everybody is around here. I will be.
Well, I can tell you this much: the lady in the Shodan mask with the hair veil over her head, it appears to be a perfectly normal human being.
Okay.
Perfectly normal.
All right.
Airports included?
All right. I will be spending willpower when I activate this. All right. Now my mind sight is active. So what do I see?
I have a brain. I have a mind.
That's good. Be pretty troublesome if you didn't.
All right, I return. Just in time to do another introduction.
Wait.
What?
Yeah, he needs to know what he sees with a mind sight.
They all have minds.
Okay.
Well, he's already seen the perfectly normal human.
Yeah, but
being.
okay, there's a difference between mind sight and aura sight.
Well, that's what I meant. My bad.
Oh.
Either way, it doesn't matter which site you use.
Yeah, where Tanner looks, while he physically looks to be, like slightly tan skin or at least flushed. I mean, not extraordinarily pale or anything. Aura-wise, pale with swirls. Everyone loves the swirls. The swirls of it.
All right. Here's what you see with aura sight, dear. 90% of the people on that dance floor are animated corpses.
Wow.
Would I notice that?
Not really. I mean, no. They just seem like
boy.
people to you.
Tanned for a vampire.
All right, kids.
All right. So what about the 10% left over?
They are an assortment of different things. Some of them are ordinary people. Some of them have different different essences to their aura. Some of them have sparkles. Some of them have rainbows. Some of them are pale. However, you know, you are more so disconcerted with the vast amounts of dead people.
So I walked into the vampire ball.
God, well, you can say that to Mr. Gravedigger if you'd like.
I'd rather not. Here's Wild's more reserved than that.
On a side note, because it's going to be interesting. You will then see this, and yes, I had to use this faceclaim. Figure enter the room. At which point you will notice there are security, and you will see this. The red tunicked individuals who are wearing masks have been very polite to you. They physically bow to him.
To who?
The masked figure who's just entered. You will also notice he is wearing a very ornate katana in an obi belt that is on his hip. For those of you who have prime sight, oh God, my eyes!
Uh-oh. Really?
Yeah.
Ow. He kind of looks away.
It is literally blinding with prime energy.
Oh.
For those of you who have spirit sight, it is a void. It is physically sucking in the light around it.
That's terrifying.
It's terrifying, yes. And he will very casually walk down the steps. All the servants will continue to bow very politely, and they will only raise their heads if and when he walks past them. He will make a V-line through the crowd, who will part for him, and he will say, "Konnichiwa, Mr. Grant."
He'll make a beeline to who?
Yeah, talking about me, I believe.
Yes.
Is it still that early in the day? Oh well. Hello to you too.
Shit.
One assumes that you are well.
For now.
He will turn very casually and he will look over the food table, which everyone is once again kind of gathered around, and he will say, "Interesting. Very interesting. I always knew that Mr. Gravedigger liked to keep odd company, but this is mildly distasteful."
Honestly, I haven't been sure what to make of this since I walked in, but an invitation's an invitation. Would have been impolite to turn it down.
Oh, we must maintain face, of course. And this is understandable. He'll say, the smaller man kind of relaxes. He has a relaxed posture in general, but he'll say, "Still, it is," he contemplates. "He was always an uncouth gentleman. Still loving. Ah. He will allow his eyes to gaze over the collective assemblage, and he will say, he will look at Eric, and he'll say, "I believe I know who you are."
Quick question. I was going to ask you this actually. How long has Sideshow been in town?
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so they probably have run across each other at some point.
This is a reasonable assessment.
Okay. He'll nod and bow politely. What's Sideshow's title again?
Just Sideshow Sama is in general what he goes by.
Good evening, Sideshow Sama.
One assumes that you are well, Mr. Elder.
Quite well, thank you.
I am pleased to hear this. He will look at the other virtual adept who he doesn't know, and his eyes will. You can see his eyes blink behind the mask, and he will say, "Is this a compatriot of yours, Mr. Elder?"
He'll glance over at where is
Kurzweil.
I don't have a picture. What does Kurzweil look like?
He's an older-looking fellow with Coke bottle glasses and a brown band around his head and curly hair.
And Prime Sight, does he look like he has standard quintessence?
Yes.
Okay. He'll tilt his head slightly, and Gravedigger did not place a rule against any non-combat, non-disruptive magics, right?
Correct.
Right-clicking him.
Okay.
Sorry.
If Rick, if you would not mind giving him the basic information that would appear on the internet about your character, please, thank you. Just basically what's on the net about you, like what you do.
Oh,
Standard
do I just put that in the side chat, or do you want me to talk about it?
Just talk about it. It's just easier. Just give a little brief.
Well, you'll see that he was an accomplished cybernetics professor at Reading University in the UK, who rather recently and suddenly retired, and is now here in Dublin.
Most likely, yes.
I see. I was interested because of he denotes. He says, interesting. I like to keep apprised of these situations. Between you and Mr. Winray, I'm not exactly sure who speaks for the virtual adepts, but you definitely have seniority in terms of chronological age.
Fortunately, the adepts do not rely on seniority as often. It's usually more of a meritocracy. The topic has never come up thus far. I'm sure at some point it will.
I have no doubt. He will look towards the other virtual adept, and he will say, "In that case, interesting. Welcome to the city."
Thank you, Dr. Kurzweil. And you are, sir?
By the way, you know that you have a different name on your Facebook or on your profile for the character, right, Rick?
I do.
Yeah, you have it down as Dr. Kevin Warwick. Or Warwick.
Well, that's his actual name. His shadow name is Kurzweil.
That's fair. But when people are actually asking for your name, if you want to purposely try and mislead them, it'll still, like, if I'm in a conversation with you and I ask for your name and the social implication is I'm asking for your name, you will have to make manipulation subterfuge rolls to actively try and mislead me to think that is your name. If you get me, it's cool. Don't worry about it for now. It's just remember that from now on.
Okay, I understand.
You can sidestep go by X name, but that's not your name, if you get me.
Okay, I get it.
That's fair. He will say you will see the man in the mask look slightly confused. He's almost confused, like he doesn't give his own introduction, if that makes sense.
Eric will step in. What was his name, Mr. Kurzweil?
Kevin Warwick.
Kevin Warwick, okay. Mr. Warwick, this is Sysho. He is, Lord Sysho, something. I don't know, whatever's appropriate.
Lord Sysho's fine.
This is Lord Sysho. He is a very esteemed member of the Akashic Brotherhood, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Want to make sure. Mm-hmm. Of the Akashic Brotherhood here in Dublin.
Wow, well...
Yeah. At this point in the conversation, Kevin is not standing directly beside Saisho. He is like just behind his shoulder, but it is obvious he has moved into like this person's side.
He will say, "Welcome to the city, Dr. Warwick."
Thank you. I'm kind of new to the scene, this whole thing. It's good to walk into these kinds of accommodations. I appreciate them. Thank you very much.
He will incline his head. He will then turn and he will look at Crib, and his eyes will narrow, because Saisho has met Crib once before.
And the
Hey,
man
just a
with
quick-
the sign and the herned mask will bow his head.
I am pleased to see that there have been no more spontaneous falls of snow.
It's always
Alston, that was so quiet I couldn't hear it.
agreed. I don't understand why things like this happen. They just do. And people always have to take that out on me. Could not understand why.
One understands. He will then turn and he will look. Selena up and down very slowly, because Selena is by far probably the most beautiful woman in the room, realistically.
Yeah.
That appearance 4 though, that appearance 7 though, Jesus. And he will say, "I would know your name if you would give it."
You may call me Selena Kyle, my lord, and she will bow.
He will extend a hand and he would say, "Would you care to dance with me in that case, Miss Kyle?"
I would love to dance with you.
He will turn to Mr. Grant, and he does something that's going to make Mr. Grant feel horribly uncomfortable. I emphasize this. He removed his sword from the Obi belt because he couldn't waltz with it in, and he is going to hand it to Mr. Grant.
The handoff ends up coming off very, at least semi-formally, in that he does take it in both hands, firm grip, but there is as much of a bow in this action as would be practical, not doing something unfortunate.
Okay. You take the. It is obviously in its saya. You take the katsuate, which is the handle, and you take the saya, which is the wooden scabbard. As you do so, I think, how do I best verbalize this? It was though 1,000 voices cried out in sudden pain and panic, and then were suddenly silenced. No, you feel the sword almost, it's not hurting you, and I emphasize that, but it's almost like it is draining the warmth from your hands, if that makes sense.
I'm going to bow to the hangout for a few minutes. I'm going to try and get it to work on my computer. If it doesn't,
Cool,
I'll
you
be
do
back on
that.
my phone.
So it is draining the heat from your hands, and you feel an immense weight as you hold it. You do not want to even contemplate what would happen if this was drawn, and you really don't. You almost get, it's almost like an impulse. It's like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. If you understand me.
Oh yeah, he really wishes the handguard was tied down, but c'est la vie. In that case, it is held to him in a way that would ensure that it wouldn't be accidentally drawn for any reason whatsoever. And keeping it close just says, "With my life."
Hi, Zake, he will say, acknowledging the fact that he's also given you a huge honor from the perspective of only someone who is trusted is allowed to hold a samurai's sword, but he will then bow to Jewel very slightly, it kind of, from the waist, and tilt himself forward, and he will hold out a hand. Or not Jewel, to Selena, rather.
And Selena will take his hand.
and the two of them will walk out onto the dance floor. We may make rolls for this in a few moments. But yes, the rest of you are left at the buffet table. I recommend mingling, talking amongst yourselves, etc. I'm going to go get another drink.
Except for me. But as soon as I get on the dance floor, Christina will promptly exit that dance floor.
At this point, the other two having been pointed out for what they are, at least in Mage Society, Kevin gives them something of a wary look.
Kurzweil is just kind of standing there. He's got the plate of deviled eggs in his hand, and he's eating kind of cautiously. He flips the goggles back on top of his head because his eyes are definitely starting to hurt. He kind of massages the bridge of his nose a little bit and squeezes his eyes, then kind of reopens them slowly. And he looks to the guy that right-clicked him before and says, "Hello. What would your name be?"
Eric Elder.
It's
so,
nice
are you an
to meet you.
adept or?
Yes, sir.
Well, there aren't too many of us in the city, but let's see. There's myself, you, and now there's a man named Winrate, and there's also a fellow named Iscariot. He's a little bit harder to find, I believe, but he's around.
So, what's the scoop about town? I'm about as new as it gets.
Oh, that's easy. The technocracy is trying to kill us all, but that's normal.
Yes. I'd rather it weren't normal.
Well, if wishes were... Well.
Yeah. Wish in one hand, crap in the other, right?
That sounds very unpleasant, but all right.
You know, which one fills up faster, right?
In any case, he'll look. What is Shodan doing currently? Unless Ben had to step away and I missed it.
No, I'm here. She's just watching everyone else very carefully and not saying a word.
He'll actually
Hooray,
beckon
it
towards.
works.
Yay! He will
Ben.
actually. I should ask: is Shodan still recognizable as Dr. L with a mask, or?
I mean, it's the same figure. So even though the face is completely different because it's a mask, you can probably tell it's the same height, same figure.
You also show up completely blank to all of my senses.
Perfectly normal in all respects.
Exactly. He'll actually wave towards her. It can either be taken as a greeting or a come over here, your choice.
She walks over casually.
All right, kids. Jewel, not Jewel. Selena. Yes, that is a word. Selena. Where's Selena Kyle a name from?
It's Catwoman.
Yeah, Catwoman.
God damn it.
It's spelled differently, but yeah. I'm a terrible person.
I mean,
Next, we need to have Kyle Rayner in here.
Selena, roll me your perception awareness, please.
I think that would be perception kenning.
Yes.
Because
Yes,
Kenny
it would.
don't have awareness. Okay. successes.
Wonderful. The feeling in this room has changed. From a changing perspective, it has gone from the dreaming to a nightmare realm.
Ooh, that's unusual.
Look
Frid,
left.
you may also
right.
make that roll.
Okay. Still working on getting things up. My first thing was trying to get in the scene. But per Kenning,
Beginning. Difficulty 6.
alrighty, 1 second. Load Discord. Load.
Discord spinning up. Discord will be ready to fire in 30 seconds.
But it's fully armed and operational, chat service.
Give it.
Give it.
4 successes.
Oh,
Nice.
Nelly, shit just got weird.
At least no one's blew it.
So I have a couple of lures and I've got some gray mare.
As I said, the way I described it is literally what you would think it is. It literally feels like this place shifted from being in a pocket of the dreaming, almost like a freehold, into being in a nightmare.
Nightmare. Okay. He is gonna mumble something into his stein.
At which point you will notice, and you only start to notice this now. Can everyone make me a perception alertness check, please? Difficulty 7. You will require 2 successes.
I see nothing.
Nodded.
Did you botch or did you fail?
I botched. I see nothing.
3 successes.
Okay.
Elle was looking in the complete opposite direction.
No successes, just a straight fail.
Straight fail.
Okay. Anyone who gets the 2 or above successes on perk alertness. You remember the chap who entered a little while ago with the Harlequins? There are now more of them. There are exactly 6. They are located at roughly equidistant points around the room. And they appear to be chanting something. Those of you with Prime Sight up, why did Solon leave?
I don't know. Could have crashed out.
Okay. It'll also work with spirit, so somebody has enlightened sight on something like that, or extra sight. There's a huge nimbus of spiritual power that is racing around between the 6 of them like some kind of fucking conduit. Basically like a perfect circle that's circling around you guys now.
Wait, who in particular? Just the entire room?
Yep, there's 6 focal points, which are 6 different people dressed as harlequins, who appear to have their heads down as they chant something.
Okay.
I'm pointing this out for the person in the room with spirit sight, which is Ben, because he can see the weird hinky energy moving around.
Which I believe Tanner is now kind of whispering / muttering the Lovely Pop Goes the Weasel song.
Yes.
All right. Well, looks like I only got 1 success, so I don't see anything, I guess.
Nope, unless you get the 2 successes, you do not meet the threshold of successes.
Okay.
Okay. It will now. The room's lights will suddenly flicker again, but they will flicker very violently. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. At which point you will also notice you will also hear a shattering, splintering noise as a crack forms down the middle of the room.
I hot-foot it to a wall.
Elle is edging towards the stairs up.
Yeah, Kurzweil is looking for the exit.
All right. Hang on. I'm going to see where Solon was, because he had all the sites that make it easier for me to give exposition. Damn it.
As for Kevin,
Exposition, what a show.
Akashiana first, he is trying to find Saisho in a vain attempt to assure his safety.
All right. Hi, Selena.
Hello.
You will see You will see two of the Harlequins very brief, just as they're actually jumping towards your dance partner with knives in their hands. Just letting you know.
Alrighty. It's gonna be this kind of adventure.
Do you alert him to the fact that they're jumping at him?
Yeah. She's going to kind of let go of his hand and say, "Believe you're about to be assassinated."
Okay, what Bob will see as he runs forward, you will see Saisho spin with incredibly, with almost like a snake would turn as it feels pressure on its tail, at which point he will lash out with only 2 fingers from each of his hands. Basically, as the 2 jump at him in unison, he will thrust his 2 of his fingers left and then flick them across to go right. As he impacts them, you will see a ripple of prime energy tear through the body, physically bisecting each.
Well, damn. There is definitely a bit of a half step, because that definitely took Kevin by surprise. But he continues towards Saisho in the wake of all of this gore and gives him back the sword.
At which point you will notice, obviously, as they attempt to murder him, the chanting has now intensified. You can now hear it. You can also see the heart. Now you guys can all see this with your bare eyes. The Harlequins are still standing there. However, they appear to be flicking from side to side every couple of minutes, every couple of seconds, in the sense that they're standing there. But then an image of them will rush to the left-hand side, and you're not sure if it's the same Harlequin that's standing there or if it's a different one in the chain, because they're all dressed identically and look identical. But they keep flicking to the side.
All right, I'm gonna try to trigger time sight. Want to take a look at this? I'll just flip down my goggles, turn it to the flip down the right shades, see what's happening here.
Okay, roll me some sweet arete.
All right, I will be again spending willpower.
Okay.
Looks like I got 1 success.
All right. Time is completely out of whack, in the sense that arguably you're not exactly sure what the purpose of it is, but for some reason their time is moving much quicker than your time.
Okay. Well, he's definitely non-combative, so he's gonna definitely keep his distance from these guys.
What was Asuka's response, by the way?
She walked over to him.
Okay, sorry. I disconnected as soon as I said it.
No worries. By the way, Solon, okay, a whole bunch of things have happened. However, the important point I have to tell you is the portal to the entrance access of this place has snapped closed.
Huh. In what state of panic are various people?
They haven't noticed yet.
Two Harlequins attempted to assassinate Saisho.
He went Fist of the North Star on them.
So plot.
Fist of the North Star.
Were they disintegrated or beheaded?
Neither.
They
Plot.
were
They were-
bisected.
Stylish.
Question for you, Plot.
Mm-hmm.
Christina will make her way to where What's-His-Face is at and examine the two bodies, the 4 pieces of bodies on the floor.
Okay.
What do I roll?
What are you doing?
Medical examination. What are they in particular? Are they vampires? Or were
They're
they
people.
vampires?
From what you can see,
Okay.
it's not even like they're bleeding blood.
He will quickly drag off a body, a full body
Okay.
sheet. And she'll feed on that. Just drain it dry, whatever's left.
How many points of very important question? How many points of blood do you take?
To fill me up. So I'm currently sitting at 9, I believe, so 4 points of blood.
Okay, take 4 ag damage.
Oh.
Ouch.
You can soak that with any fortitude you may have if you have it. You have fortitude?
No.
Okay. Their blood is wrong. They look like people, they smell like people, they act like people, but there's something in their blood that is hilariously corrosive. It's almost like acid, but it doesn't seem to be eating through the floor. If you take some of their blood and sprinkle it on the food, however, it'll go through it like that. It's almost like battery acid.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was doing my medical examination, so I'd prevent myself from taking that damage, so. Yeah.
Okay, so there was also a huge crack that is formed in the center of the room. There are a number of these harlequins that are standing on around the circular concave of the room along the circular walls, and they appear to be flicking around incredibly quickly as they appear to be chanting something.
Are these the same Harlequins that attacked?
Yes.
Oh, okay then. Is Gravedigger visible anywhere?
No.
Had to
So
move back to
our
my phone.
host has left, or at least is not present.
You would assume that that is indeed the case.
Okay, well then, all right.
Well, good thing I have a physical copy of the C20 book, because shit's gonna get real.
Hooray!
Oh
And I don't
yeah,
get-
it's gonna get very real here.
I don't get those blood points, do I?
Nope.
I mean, you don't want them.
All changelings be aware that Dr. L is doing her best to stay the fuck away from you.
That's fine.
Banality doesn't affect them anymore like that.
C20
Oh.
changed it.
Yeah.
All right. What kind of a medicine check am I going to do on the one that just drank acid to tell that she's hurt or not?
It would be. Do you have sights up?
Yeah, right now I do.
What sights?
My time sight, my time sight is up. I'll have to flip my goggles around to life. So
Okay.
let me do that again. All right. All right. Looks like I got one. Looks like I got socks without willpower. So I'm looking at life. I'm also going to do a medical examination because
She is not alive.
okay. I'm gonna.
Perception awareness?
I beg your pardon?
Perception awareness?
If you want to roll it, yeah.
Okay, just a second. Where is?
One sec. Yeah. One success.
Awareness.
They did something. You're not exactly sure what, but it felt. Ugh.
Yeah, I got success on my medical examination, regardless of the fact that there's no life in her.
She'd have to let you examine her.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll step up and ask her if she's okay.
She's on the other side of the room. Yeah, she didn't reintegrate with you guys.
Okay. Well, all right.
You will see other harlequins are darting through the crowd with knives in their hands, bloody knives, as certain individuals scream and fall under the stabbing blades.
All right. So with screaming and hollering and people being funkadoodles, I'm gonna do a thing.
For Bob, you will notice that Saisho is saying some words in what you assume is Japanese, and he's moving his hands in very intricate ways. Continue, Austin.
So I am going to Thor my mug on the stein, slam it on the ground, declare another, and that will be my bunk for flicker fires. I'm going to use summer plus. I'm just going to have them float in the air.
Okay.
Around us.
What is flicker fires again?
This is the one that lets me do minor emotional things.
Okay.
So we'll be rolling. Give me a second. That's 5. The other's 5. I've got to spend a glamour because I need to add scene. And that's 1 minus 1.
By the way, for our dear friendly Malkavian, you will start to hear that song again. Continue.
Hold on, I need to.
Cobbler's bench, monkey chase the weeds.
What is You like what?
Goes
-1, -2 for the bunk.
I beg your pardon?
How much for the bunk?
-2.
Okay, so. Okay. 2, that is 6. So. Maker. Fires. Last 6. No, last 7 nightmare. So the last 7 dice on this roll are gonna be nightmare dice.
Oh dear.
Doesn't mean anything to anybody but me. Tap Dancing Christ.
Well, how bad was it?
Well, I didn't gain any nightmare, but I got 8 successes on the roll.
Oh, tap Dancing Christ.
Nice.
So a bunch of chimerical lights appear that don't show up unless we're really actually in a nightmare realm. Then they show up. Fill the chamber, and they all resonate with the emotion of calm. And then I hold my hand out for my next stein.
Stein smash.
The last thing we need is a panic in a room. So I'm doing my best to calm everybody present with the magics.
All right. Is there anybody near Kurzweil who is within reach that he can get near and help that's been stabbed?
Not really. Okay, what they're doing is they're not just stabbing like nonsensically. They're actively picking people, and they're not just stabbing. Like they're delivering death blows. Instead of they're stabbing through the heart, they're stabbing through the throat. They're slitting through. They're slitting throats. They're actively killing with strikes. They're not just wounding.
I understand.
Okay.
However, they don't appear to be going for you guys. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, and Christine will do what I put in side chat.
Well.
Yeah, and if no one's paying Tanner any attention, he's pretty much going to be trying to activate his obfuscate, just because knives are moving it is getting a little bit dangerous in here. It's probably best to not be seen by people with knives. Especially since he doesn't like getting hit in the face, and a knife is probably worse than a fist.
Weird. Calling upon the weird.
By the way, Evan, based on the amount of prime that was present in literally everything here, is it safe to assume we're not in the Tellurian anymore?
You are, in fact, in a... You're somewhere in the Umbra. My apologies, that took me. Or,
all right.
Or possibly somewhere else. But you are not on Terra Firma anymore, no.
Okay.
For the record, and I almost wish Yuki was here. You will see this chap standing, looking down from the balcony.
Eric's just gonna look up at him and be like, there's a moment where Eric's just like, oh, no, not finishing that.
You look remarkably similar.
Is it in fact the same guy?
He'll look down at Eric, and you'll see him smile, like the smile that is creepily wide, and he'll say, "Oh my, it's you, isn't it? What a lovely time for tea, don't you agree?"
He kind of tilts his head slightly. Been a little while since the library.
Hi, our friendly neighborhood Malkavian. This is the person who you saw as the Jack-in-the-Box, but instead of missing Ed.
You kind of cut out there for a bit, Evan.
Oh, I said that this is the person who was taking on the role of the Jack-in-the-Box, the puppet, but instead of now missing a head, he has a head, obviously. So the puppet was wearing the same outfit, etc., etc., etc.
Oh, well, I guess Tanner will look at the people at the that were at the buffet when he was like, I don't know who that person is, but we need to get there before off with her head.
Need to get where?
He'll point at the Mad Hatter. About to lose her head.
Okay.
Off goes the weasel.
Oh crap.
Hmm.
Ow.
And as I said, round and round the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought 'tis was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. That is our Jack. Let's go.
All right then. Let's do it.
He'll smile down. He smiles down at Eric, and he'll say, and only Eric can hear him say this, "They've got no idea who I am, do they?"
Well, to be fair, most people don't expect to meet the embodiment of insanity.
I mean, well, what can I say? Anything before tea time.
I do hate to be direct. It is nice to see you, of course, but what do you have any idea on what off of Earth might be happening here?
Oh, of course I do. I caused it, didn't I? You see, he says this as he's walking down the steps, and once again, only Eric can hear him. The funny thing is about this gravedigger chap, apparently he and I look really similar. So it was easy to put on a little party for you all. And then, well, needless to say, he points over. That's the head of the central bank. And that's the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Oh, that's the Minister for Justice. Hi, Liam. How's it going? Oh, dear, there goes his intestines.
So pure chaos, essentially, was your goal here. Where the hell did you get the knife wielders?
Oh, them? Well, or how to put it like this, a little bit of here, a little bit of there, a little bit of dolls with people's bits stitched into them. It's pretty easy when you know where to look, and if you get a good contractor. Oh, do tell my dear darling Yuki that I say hello and that I love her very much. Hearts. He'll actually hold up his finger to hearts.
By the way, is he warded?
Oh, out the yin yang.
God damn it. And at least one of those is a mind ward, isn't it?
Yep.
God damn it.
Well, so you're not exactly sure how you would fight him. He's an embodiment of a thing, and he doesn't have a page.
He does have a brain.
Ish. God knows it doesn't work very well.
It wouldn't work very well after I finished what I was going to do, but I can't fight the shield.
Who here does not have a mind shield?
The mages all do.
Me.
Excellent.
Me.
You guys can
Oh,
can
never
roll.
mind.
You guys can roll. It is a perception, occult / Greymere roll in order to see if that you're about to be hit with a psychic effect, and in order to basically try and dodge it. So, because you do actually get a psychic dodge, which is pretty interesting.
Occult, or can you roll awareness to realize an effect coming?
The book says perception occult, but if you really want to roll awareness, you can.
Okay, because I can't make the awareness or the occult roll.
That's fair. Yeah, awareness is fine.
And Rick, you said your character does not have a mind shield?
I do not have a mind shield, but looks like I got 2 successes on the awareness roll.
Yep, then you know that there is an effect coming, in which case you are able to roll your willpower in an attempt to resist it. Because that's how N20 does this.
Okay. All right, my permanent score?
Yes.
Okay.
It will bop off any mind shield that exists. It'll just go bop.
Well, shit.
Did you fail your roll?
I got 1 success.
No. I made 1 success on the awareness roll.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly 2 if the 1 doesn't negate the 10 first.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 on my perkinning.
No, the willpower dodge roll. My willpower is currently halved.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that whole derangement.
Looks to me like I got 1 success.
Nope. I don't dodge it. I see it coming. I don't dodge it.
Okay, I get 2 to see it coming.
I see it coming. I don't dodge it.
You guys, for those of you who do not dodge it, will all be affected with basically we'll all get a temporary derangement. Only while this individual is here. It will essentially be manic depression with mania turned up to 9.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
So, question.
Mm-hmm.
That's already my derangement, but I'm currently in the other side of the cycle.
It will flip you to the other side of the cycle like that.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Mania? What is the mechanics for that?
It's a one-time thing. You do have 1 or 2 stat. I think it's. I have to look it up in the book. You do get 1 or 2 stat
it gives
things,
a +2 difficulty to resist frenzy,
Okay.
or +2 diff to ride the wave.
You guys are fucked. Especially if...
Alright, so,
Whew.
Evan,
Yes.
would this be considered a chimerical effect?
Actually,
it's not +2, it's +1.
neither you nor Heather can be affected
Okay.
Oh, neat.
because of his ability calming you down. You are in fact affected, but the chimerical effect that's in the area is keeping you calm. So it doesn't it can't be manic and calm at the same time.
So, but he definitely did something, didn't he?
Oh yeah, big stuff.
Yup.
Okay. Well, now I have to attack. And we'll see how this goes.
This is going to be silly.
Yeah,
Yes,
and correction,
it
it's only +1 diff, and only to resist, not to control.
Okay.
Does she have a chimerical item on her?
Well, she has a treasure.
All right.
However, she does not have armor, so this is potentially going to be interesting. Yeah.
Loud baby, loud baby.
Hey, Evan.
Yes.
Christina will actually grab a lot of food and just start walking around the dance floor using the blood to dab the food. And if it doesn't corrode the food, she's going to start eating it.
Okay.
To the people that were struck down, I should say.
That's fine. You will see this person randomly walking around, sticking their teeth into people's necks. You will regain all the blood that you all back up to maximum blood pool, however.
How many people are on the dance floor?
At the moment, still alive, none.
Dead.
Dead people who are not corpses. Because the corpses are just kind of standing there like they... basically, the corpses who are dancing, you'll find are just standing there kind of semi-motionless.
Not them. The ones that were struck down by the Harlequins.
Oh, there's about 20 of them or so. 20, 25.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. She starts, her form actually shimmers and melts as she's going around eating people's blood.
If it helps, you'll hear, Kevin will hear a voice coming from behind him. I honestly did like you.
I bear no grudge.
She'll shrug. However, how to phrase it? When you've been locked up in a box for a very long time, you have an innate fear of going back in the box. Wouldn't you agree?
We all have our priorities. Come on. And Kevin will take up a stance because he seems to believe this is an invitation to throw down.
That's fine. You'll see the woman standing in front of you. You come to a... would you like to put me an intelligence enigmas?
Sure.
All right, Evan.
Hello.
Hi. I went ahead and rolled for attacking with the whip.
Okay.
I got 3 successes on the attack roll, 2 successes on the bonus attack roll, and then 4 successes on the damage roll.
Okay. And you're whipping Lunacy, yeah?
Yes.
Cool. The whip goes right through him as if he's not there.
Well, holy crap.
All right, Bob, because I'm going to set a threshold of it too. You're kind of thinking, Laranan and Alare, what does that actually... Why are they here? Why does that make sense? Or why doesn't it make sense? And you're kind of piecing it together in your mind, because you've heard these words before. For the record, liare is the Latin and the clinical term for a depressive state, whereas are is the clinical term for a manic state.
Where's the other one?
Beg your pardon?
I said, where's the other one?
Not here.
Shit.
All of this is occurring to Kevin. But Kevin's just not sure what to make of it. He's not sure if he's squaring off against a concept or a ghost or what.
Kevin, roll me your stamina.
Okay.
It will be difficult. 7 and have a threshold of 2 successes.
All right, let me look up my stamina for a hot second. Aha! Diff 7, threshold of 2. Nope. Man, my stamina rolls. Now I feel, or yeah, it looks, unless it was soak, at which point I got 1. So meh.
What do you think it feels like when your body stops, and I mean stops, as in it is drained from you, stops producing serotonin?
I personally would have no idea.
All the happiness bleeds out of you, and nothing is left but depression.
Yes. Essentially, serotonin is it's the brain chemical that deals with emotional. It deals with peaking emotions and heightening sensation. If that is gone, you literally, physically, and because brain chemistry, you feel numb.
That's disconcerting.
Mm-hmm.
Given Kevin's already sterling personality, a lot of this is probably hidden behind a mask. He's probably a little less ready to punch a ghost at this moment. And by little, I mean like a ton, because you took away his serotonin.
Oh, hey, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
So, over the course of 3 rounds, Eric's going to have dropped the data site prime site effect and was trying to set up the beginnings of a telepathic link to link the few people he knows are, kosher in the room, and possibly a few of the non-koshers. However, 5 successes in, 3rd roll, botch.
Botch.
I mean, I still have a mind shield up, so I can't really fry my own brain, but I'm sure there's consequences.
There's a shitload of paradox.
I'll take the botch.
I mean, it's still coincidental.
Yeah, but you were basically extending it, which means that you take paradox based on. No, that's a ritual.
Yeah, this isn't a ritual. This is extended
A ritual is where you take a shitload of docs.
That's why I burned willpower on those.
You will take 4 paradox.
Lovely.
Feel it
If I get
bleed
one
into
more,
your soul.
if I get one more point this scene, I can get a backlash. Yay!
No, you don't. It's when you gain 5 at once.
Oh, I thought Adam was saying that we were going to do it the other way, because otherwise
No,
there's virtually no way to get it here.
Well,
You
no,
have
there's
Paradox.
a lot of ways to get it. Paradox is terrible stuff. And the thing, okay, I will clarify this for people. M20 Paradox is not as nice as people think it is. It's really obsequious. So if you get Paradox, if you don't have a familiar and have no way of getting the dots out of your system, it lingers. So in the event you do eventually fuck up a casting that, will cause you to have the Paradox backlash from hell, you can have 12, 13 points of docs in your system, at which point that backlash could kill you.
Yeah.
Or you just hit 20 without a backlash and die.
Yes.
Actually,
also,
you don't necessarily.
Also, the mage storyteller can randomly just be like, "Oh, you're trying to do something. I'm going to use some of your paradox now."
Yep, I can if I choose to.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Even though it says you do get backlashes on 5 docs at a time or more, it's also at any dramatic moment the ST chooses.
Yep.
Yeah, and don't forget that at 10 plus, you can get visited by a paradox spirit or get sent to a paradox realm, not of your choosing.
Not an M20, sadly. I wish that would happen.
No, it is an M20. I was reading it. At those levels, at 10 plus paradox, that's what happens. At 20, all of that happens. You take damage, you get sent to a realm, and you get visited by a paradox spirit. It's not nice.
At this point, boys and girls, because everyone in the room, save you little few folks, are now so very dead. Oh, so very dead. The Harlequins have stopped moving, and they're just kind of standing like statues around the room with still bloodied knives in their hands, and you hear the drip, drip, drip as the blood falls from the knives onto the ground. You will see Saisho stand up from where he was prepping himself. You could hear him chanting, at which point he turns and he raises an eyebrow. He doesn't appear very interested in the Spears of Lunacy or in one of the children of Lunacy, because I'll let you in on a secret. That's what she is. As he brings his hands together, and he will bring his hands together and he will form a square with his fingers.
That's not
At which
good.
point he widens a hole in the fabricality. At which point he will very casually step through it, with his hand dragging Kevin behind him, because Kevin is currently kind of a mess. However, for the purposes of those who have data sight, there's a lovely portal there to the real world.
I mean, I just dropped it, but I did see him exit.
Yes, you did, and you know what a portal is.
Okay, rolling.
What are you rolling?
I
Yes,
am
Ben.
rolling to bring up data site.
Oh, okay, that's what I'll do too.
I mean, you could just say you saw him step through a portal and he's
Got it.
God.
Oh, yeah.
I got
Portals aren't.
I got 2 successes on that. Is the portal stable?
Yes.
She looks at the other people that are still living. We have an exit. I suggest we take it.
Yeah, this is not my scene. Exit stage left.
Eric's sorry, go ahead.
If we're leaving, then Tanner will look at Insanity and go, I feel like I know you. And I'll probably know you more and longer. Probably until I die.
That's because you do, Tanner. You and I are always with each other. It's just a matter of you closing your eyes and have a little bit of a think.
Well, maybe you can come visit sometime. I mean, some more.
Well, this conversation is going on. Dr. L is stepping through the portal.
Okay.
Yeah. Kurzweil is right behind him.
Nope. I'm following the brave Sir Robbins.
Brave Sir Robbins ran away. Bravely ran away.
Is there anyone not stepping through the portal?
Tanner will then go through the portal after saying goodbye to Insanity.
Oh,
Bye. Bye.
there was most assuredly
I-
one person who is not going through the portal.
Who?
The
Christian?
person on the far side of the room.
Christian?
Well, I mean, it would depend on if Jewel considers this backing down from a challenge, or if
I mean, Raven can't leave a fight without drawing blood. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Is that the new hospital?
No, it's her antithesis.
Sometimes it's worth a point of banality.
You know, she can just stab her own hand or something.
Or, heck, there are corpses all around the place. Draw some of their blood.
Are there any of the Harlequins still standing?
yes,
All right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to attack one of them, and then we're going to bolt.
While that decision making is going on, Eric, he would have said bye to Insanity, but Insanity was talking to his stepchild, Volcavian. In all seriousness, is Christian actually across the room and unable to go to the portal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Is
Christian actually changed shape in front of y'all. She no longer looks like a she. He now looks completely different.
quick question. You do have Promethean clay, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was going to say, because otherwise that requires a whole bunch of time and effort.
Yep. So are you like frenzied or something, running around crazy like? What's
No. He's actually quite calm.
And you show no intention of going towards the portal?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Eric's
Bye.
just going to. Eric's just going to do a head count. Like, okay, Sideshow's gone, Kevin's gone. Okay, he steps through. He was head counting mages.
All right, I got 2 successes on the damage roll.
You draw blood from one of them.
All right, the Lord she was dancing with his gun. Now she's going to follow.
Okay.
I assume they all arrive at the same point on the other end of the portal.
Just a moment. So, Christian, what are you doing? Because you're staying behind, pointedly.
He doesn't know what's really going on. He's seeing people going somewhere, but he doesn't know those people. He doesn't know if it's a trap. He just knows what he sees.
To be fair, this does kind of look like a standard Sabbat gathering. Lots of people got brought in under false pretenses and murdered.
and the person walking down the stairs, the dude that looks like the guy that got his coffin or sarcophagus, which looked like a vampire initially.
Okay. You'll see the portal stays there for a few minutes, at which point the figure shrugs, and he'll snap his fingers, and you'll see all of the harlequins kind of twitch before they fall on the ground. Like, it actually looks like their puppet strings have been cut, almost like a puppet would fall over. And he'll shrug and he'll say, "Well, that's that little bit of business done for today. I feel like a sandwich."
Christian just gestures to the table.
I don't like this stuff. I mean, needless to say, well, maybe, no. Also, I've got business elsewhere. It was nice to meet you, young sir. He'll tip his hat.
He'll kind of just nod.
He will very casually turn, and as he's walking up the stairs, disappear.
Anybody left in the room?
Oh, we all left.
Yeah, I know. I mean, anybody else left in the room?
Nope.
What about that NPC dude?
Which one?
The one with the sword.
He left.
Oh,
he
he
was the one who
made the portal and left.
He was the one who made the portal and left.
Okay. Christian will go to the stairs then.
Sad times are about to happen.
Yes.
So Kurzweil turns to Eric and he's like, "What the hell was all of that?"
Hang on, give me a second. I have to think about how to do this. You'll walk up the stairs, which leads you to You'll walk up the stairs, because basically how the stairs work is there are 2 great sweeping stairs on either side of the circular room that go up to a central point, and then there's another set of stairs that go up to the door. If you understand me.
Mm-hmm.
I take it you wish to attempt to use the door.
Sure.
You will attempt to open it. It does not open.
Okay.
I did say that the portal that connects to this place, the outside world, was cut, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent.
Oh, that's all that he can do.
So, are you actually sanguine in being left here?
Sanguine?
As in, you're not upset.
Going with that flow.
I mean, I'm not quite sure how to handle this.
The other vampire got the fuck out through the portal?
My character never connected that he was a vampire. He thought he was a mage. I'll bet a crazy one.
Wait. Is the
Literally
portal still
everyone else left, and he's just like,
No, the portal collapsed. It was open. It was open well more than long enough to let people through, but he didn't go through.
Yeah, because he didn't trust any of you. He didn't know any of you. None of you introduced yourselves. None of you said anything to him.
That is a fair reaction among vampires. I'm just not sure what's going to happen now.
Exactly.
Nothing good.
Well, has anyone seen the Langoliers?
Oh, that's bad.
Oh man, those
That's
guys are
bad.
bad news.
And Evan's just like, Solon, stop giving me ideas.
No,
No. We need to prepare Gravedigger's Dungeon of Fun.
Well, no, because I'm trying to think honestly, because I haven't contemplated this. I'm trying to think, what do you do when somebody doesn't want to take the exit? The exit is there only for a set amount of time.
I have a better question. Did Lunacy create this as like a pocket realm, essentially?
Yes, and that's why it's breaking apart.
That's what I was going to say. The next thing is, if he's no longer maintaining it, dear God, will this place fall apart fast?
And you get shunted somewhere.
Into Umbra, most likely, which can have any number of results.
Or this is a nightmare realm, someplace in the dreaming, which could be just as bad, if not worse.
Or into the Shadowlands.
Shadowlands, also viable. Or just someplace in the Telerian. Because when realms collapse, weird shit happens. Just nobody likes to be there when it happens.
Well, in either case, he's just going to pull up a chair.
Well, okay.
As the world crumbles around him.
I mean, because he also got hit with manic depression, so he doesn't really want to do anything.
He got hit with manic depression in the manic state. He wants to do stuff. He wants to be moving. He wants to be doing everything.
Oh,
You
well,
also,
that,
you also don't really think of the consequences of your actions while you're manic. Like, this is why people think that they can fly.
okay, well, in that case, since he's in that particular state, he'll actually start just flesh crafting with the dead bodies, not the puppets.
Okay.
Perfect way for Zenitsu to go out.
Okay.
And then there's a cathedral of flesh just floating there in the Umbra.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of are.
That's terrifying.
I think Bob phrased it really well. And the band plays on because there's not really much I can do here.
No, there's not. It was all reasonable in character, but there's, short of a complete Deus Ex Machina, there's nothing else.
Evan,
Hmm.
Dragon Ball Z Abridged, the episode where Goku explains how he got off planet.
No muffin button.
Yes,
so-
he basically made a muffin chip.
I will posit this for your consideration, Evan. The situation with Christian is kind of, at this point, so diverged from your planned narrative. You may have to come back to it at another time when you've had time to think it through and just address it then.
The issue is that I know what must happen. I just don't want to. I just don't want to. How to phrase? I don't want to take a PC's PC for that. But anyway,
Okay.
because the reality, the pocket dimension in the Umbra will crumble, and you will be shunted into the Umbra. Hang on, let me just think.
I mean,
Yeah, I think what he's just suggested is the best choice of action right now is to put it on hold and come back to it.
Okay, that's agreeable. If you're happy with that,
I'm just one person, and you have, what, 8 other people in here?
Yeah, that's fair. Gentlemen and ladies, in that case, the portal will deposit you rather safely in the middle of a bathhouse. Pleasantly warm. You're standing in front of a large golden dragon statue. For those of you who had who were flipped to manic depression or had your serotonin levels fucked with, you will return to normal immediately as you step through the portal.
Normal, or what would be normal had it not been flipped?
Normal. Basically normal from the perspective of however normal you get.
So the bipolars would go to untriggered.
Yes.
Untriggered state. Okay.
Yes.
Sweet. Does Tanner have a signal on his cell phone yet?
Yes.
Okay, he's sending Amelia a text.
So yeah, Kurzweil turns to Eric and he's like, "What the hell was all of that?"
Sideshow, for his part, very calmly turns as he places his sword. As he places his sword in the mouth of the golden dragon statue before taking his seat, and he'll say, "Interesting. I had honestly only intended to save Mr. Grant. It would seem as though the rest of you are... I loathe to use the phrase collateral, but I think it is somewhat apt."
Kevin takes off his mask, bows to Sideshow. I'm in your debt.
He will say, "Oftentimes the cherry blossoms fall before they are meant to. It is simply when winter comes early, and oftentimes it is unexpected."
I see.
Dr. L will remove the Shodan mask. Hold on. Now I need to change the picture. Well, someone else go while I'm trying to find this damn picture.
Interesting.
Rib will
Oh, sorry, continue, Austin.
Rib will be removing his mask. Just kind of nod. And there's this look on his face that conveys this is like Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club. I ain't saying anything.
Okay, now that I've got the picture up properly, she will bow very deeply to Sideshow, and in perfect Japanese, she will say, "Thank you for allowing the portal to remain open long enough, my lord."
He will very slightly incline his head, and he will say, "Oftentimes when a fisherman is lost in deep waters, he need only pray so the storm does not come, and fair breezes carry him home."
That should actually be somewhat weird to him that this woman that looks very Caucasian is speaking perfect Japanese.
Well, at least you're not speaking really bad Japanese.
Well, after a moment, Tanner would stop looking at his cell phone and slide the fox mask to the top of his head. Go, "Yep. Thank you for the way home. Don't know where here is, though, but it's probably a little bit closer."
"You're currently in my bathhouse in the Temple of a Thousand Happinesses. It's roughly in the center of Dublin City."
Makes it a little bit easier to kind of get back, sort of.
You will see one of Sideshow's eyebrows raised. Everyone here who has spoken to him has done so in a specific way, and Tanner hasn't.
But thank you.
You will see his fist clench.
You should go. Allow me to show you the entrance. And like, however wise it may be, Kevin comes towards him with it, and we're moving, and we're moving.
Yep.
On that same note, since being within range of collateral anger is a thing, Eric's going to bow deeply towards SciShow, and my brain is completely fuzzing right now, but assume some polite etiquette. Thank you for letting us tag along, my lord, etc., etc. And by your leave, if I might escort these two from the building. He nods over towards Dr. L.
I now know how I'm going to deal with Christian. Sorry, I'm going to flick back to Christian for a moment.
Oh, before you do, Dr. L will have been pretending she didn't see or hear a damn thing when the badness happened.
That's entirely fair.
Yeah.
All right, so Charles, how's it going?
He's just in the middle of flesh crafting shit.
That's fair. The reality around you will crack and will splinter. It will turn into 1,000 needles that seem to whisper and shriek a new reality. However, they're all blown away. In the process, it's like how... have you ever been in a deluge of water which pushes you towards one direction?
Sure.
So as it only has one mode of egress or egress, it will literally smash you through the portal that SciShow opened. There we go. That's how we deal with that.
So he's getting flushed.
Essentially, if it helps, you were also flushed with whatever you were flesh crafting at that given time.
How many new vampires did you make before you got flushed?
How many bodies are still warm?
God damn it! I was joking.
You were realistically working on your first before you were unceremoniously chucked out.
Okay.
The realm only lasted for about 3 minutes or so after everyone left, because it then started to degrade incredibly quickly.
So does he appear? So does he now appear on the floor just as I'm asking for us to leave, complete with a flesh-crafted body?
Yes.
Oh! I'm not even going to look in that direction. I'm just waiting for the response from SciShow.
Yeah, Asuka is also... Well, Dr. L is also pretending nothing is happening.
Yeah. I will follow suit.
The response from SciShow...
I spend a willpower not to go, well, oh my god, what the fuck is that? Spend that willpower. Well spent.
As Christian comes back to his senses, he kind of just stops and looks up at everybody. Oh, this is awkward.
And SciShow's response?
SciShow will hold up 5 fingers. He will then drop...
now he's holding up 4.
He is now holding up 4 fingers.
Called it!
And Tanner is going as leaving. Bye.
Deep bow and hen the fuck out.
I will follow suit.
Kevin.
If at first you don't succeed, run the fuck away from the crazy Asian man.
Yeah, Kevin very quickly ushers you both out of the front door and says, "Thank you for your time at the Temple of Thousand Happinesses. Please do not come back," and goes back inside.
And then Eric departs.
However, you are now faced with the incumbent facts that the things that you encountered in the library still exist. On that note, by the way, hey Kevin.
Want to get some fish?
I kind of want to get some fish. I kind of need some fish in my universe. On a side note, he kind of sniffs. He's like, why do you smell like broken dreams and flop sweat?
Isn't that kind of how we met?
Yes.
Let's just say I was reliving my greatest hits.
No, I drug it out with me.
Oh. Why is there a man dragging a corpse through a public space?
That's what my current picture is asking. As I'm probably on the floor, just like doing business and just going like, why is this person walking out of SciShow's area with a dead body?
By the way, what is the time of day?
It's about a little bit after 2 in the morning.
Okay, so it's still pretty dark? Okay.
Is it enough time for me to get to my car and then drive the car back to the pack cave it?
Oh yes, more than enough time.
Okay, that's all.
Because, you know, the cat is just sitting on your shoulder, going, "Why is there a man dragging a dead body to the lobby?"
There.
I'm a mortician. It's professional. Don't worry.
See that,
So-
Shin? We're gonna take that at face value.
Meanwhile, Dr. L is calling for an Uber.
On a side note, you're gonna put bourbon in my milk today, for obvious reasons.
Yes, I am.
Excellent. This is how we sustain our friendship. He will ball up his tail for a fist bump.
And Kevin gives it. The cat's dharma is a strange one, but he's learned not to deny the cat its ways.
Indeed.
99% bourbon.
All right, so at this point, we're going to call the scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been the inaugural scene for the first crossover plot in Darkness in Dublin, because lunacy is everybody's problem. Have a good day.